Shabbat Shalom. In 1979, archaeologists digging in a cave outside Jerusalem's Old City unearthed two tiny silver scrolls incised with early Hebrew lettering. They appeared to be ancient amulets containing the words of Birkat Kohanim, the priestly benediction from the book of Numbers. 25 years later, a team at the University of Southern California confirmed that the scrolls dated from the period just before Jerusalem's destruction in 586 BCE. These amulets, sacred objects of protection, are the earliest surviving texts from the Hebrew Bible. In this week's Parsha, Parshat Naso, God commands Aaron, the high priest, and his sons to bestow divine blessing on the Israelite people. For more than 2,500 years, we have carried these ancient words of benediction with us, offering them with love and receiving them with gratitude on all our sacred and happy occasions. The words echo across Jewish communities, across Shabbat tables and synagogues, and now Zoom screens through the centuries. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and watch over you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'huneka. May God's light shine on you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yisem lecha shalom. May God lift up God's face to you and grant you peace. There are 3 lines of text in the Birkat Kohanim, the first with 3 words, the second with 5, and the third with 7. Each line is longer than the one that precedes it. Each flows into the next like an ever-increasing and overflowing cup of blessings. I imagine the words cascading across the Torah scroll. The very structure of the priestly benediction demonstrates the expansive, abundant nature of divine blessing. The Netziv, the great 19th century sage, notes that each blessing will resonate differently with each person, for we each experience joy and fulfillment differently. Bible scholar Nahama Leibowitz elaborates that the 3 sections of the priestly benediction form an ascending order, one which begins with a person's physical and material needs, then moves on to spiritual desires, and ultimately concludes by combining both material and spiritual together, crowning them with the blessing of peace. The Sifra, a midrashic collection, teaches that peace outweighs all other material blessings. Food and drink are well and good, the Midrash explains, but without peace, they are worth nothing. The ancient cadence of the priestly benediction resonates through the history of our people, sanctifying our moments of joy, marking the sacred rhythm of our days. Circumstances change over time, but we are always, always in need of blessing. And we know, as the priests of ancient Israel knew, that God's blessings come to us through human hands, through the hands of those we love, through friends and neighbors and colleagues, and often through the hands of strangers. What is the blessing that you need to hear now? The blessing that we need to hear as a country? How do these words, the words which were etched in silver and worn by a Jew who lived in the 6th century BCE, bless and sanctify our lives today? And how can they inspire us to share our own gifts and blessings with others? I offer you a priestly benediction in the time of pandemic, a blessing for ourselves, for our people, and for our country.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha ken yehi ratzon.
May sacks of flour spill from your pantry. May your sourdough starters thrive. May your Wi-Fi connection be fast and reliable. May your Zoom never freeze. May God bless the hands of the first responders who nourish us, care for us, and keep us from harm. The doctors, the nurses, the grocery store employees, the Instacart drivers, the Amazon factory workers, They have the strength and sustenance they need to perform their crucial work, and may they receive the deep gratitude they deserve from all of us. May God watch over all of us, those at home and those at work, the sick and the well together.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך בחונך כן יהי רצון.
In this time of uncertainty and loss, may we find the spiritual resources we need to survive. May we show one another compassion, patience, and love. May we meet the challenges of today with courage, kindness, and generosity. May we look to the ancient story of our people for wisdom and guidance. And mindful of the teachings of our tradition, may we pay special attention to the most vulnerable among us, the elderly and immunocompromised, those in detention and prison, those who are already working paycheck to paycheck and no longer have a job. May we see the true scope of this pandemic, its human and economic toll. May our eyes be open to injustice, the ways in which COVID-19 has wreaked disproportionate havoc in communities of color, in underserved and under-resourced communities. May we see and absorb the devastating lesson we have learned, that our national foundation was already broken and this pandemic only exposed the cracks.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. כן יהי רצון ישם לך שלום. יהי רצון ישם לך שלום. יהי רצון.
We're listening to the voices of our brothers and sisters in Minnesota, in Kentucky, and across the country as they cry out for justice and protest for radical change. May we find our way to healing and peace through confronting the reality that we live in an age of multiple plagues, the plagues of racism, xenophobia, and white supremacy, which have stained our soil with the blood and tears of thousands of men, women, and children. And may we go forward with courage and hope, with the strength to question and to listen, to tear down and rebuild our city and our country with a vision of health and justice for all. May God bless the work of our hands now and always, and may we bless one another in all that we do. Ken Yehi Ratzon and Shabbat Shalom.